Say hi. She sees the doggy. Here I am trying to look glamorous, like a glamorous stay-at-home mom, when the truth is at home all day I wear no makeup. But for you guys, I will doll myself up.
See the description box below to skip ahead to questions that you are interested in and to skip the questions that you are not interested in. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this, and I'm looking forward to reading your comments below.
Alright, so this video is dedicated to, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right, Kenia Felice at Liz Lorraine Art. She tweeted me about doing a question and answer video. So this video is dedicated to you. I've always wanted to do a question and answer video, and I was kind of waiting for somebody to suggest it, and you did, so this is for you. You asked, were you ever bullied as a kid, and if so, how did you deal with it, and what advice would you give to bullied children today? This is such a great question. It's a very difficult question. And so I want to put a website up on the screen right now. If you are experiencing bullying, if you are witnessing bullying at school, please visit this website. I thought it had a lot of great resources on there. Yes, it is StopBullying.gov. So this is a very important question, and I apologize also that my answer isn't going to be sufficient or good enough. When I was in school, however, in elementary school in particular, I remember second grade walking home from school, and a couple of guys started bullying me. They started shoving me, and I got really scared, and I remember thinking, I don't know how to fight. How am I going to protect myself? And you know, I don't know why they picked on me. I guess I was an easy target. I was a girl. I was unsure of myself. I don't know. I was there. I was alone. Nobody to protect me. And so maybe they just wanted to show their toughness. I'm not sure. But I remember walking home, and some of the parents started coming out of their doorsteps in the neighborhood, and I think that deterred them. I seem to remember an adult seeing, and they kind of got scared and walked away. So in high school, my freshman year, I remember a couple girls were mean to me. A couple girls, there were a handful. And it was more cattiness, not so much bullying. I think that girls can be catty, and that's a normal part of adolescence. And I remember boys, there was a guy who liked me, and some of the girls were like, oh, she's ugly, why does he like her? And I had a jaw that stuck forward. I had an underbite. Like now my profile is normal, like my teeth they align normally, but before my teeth didn't align properly, and I needed braces, and I had to get my jaw aligned properly. So that was like that, you know, you don't feel your best if you don't look your best, and so I remember that being an insecurity. Then also I remember a girl saying that she wanted to chop off all of my hair. She used to always say these weird things to me, like, I'm going to chop off all of your hair, and I hate you, just random hatred for no reason. I didn't even talk to this girl hardly. She wasn't your typical bully. She was a loner. She seemed insecure herself, but she was a very angry girl, and I didn't let her get to me. I just remember one day after school, I ended up being alone with her somehow. We were waiting for our parents to pick us up from school, and I just remember talking to her and being like, why do you hate me, and what did I do? And I ended up finding out that she was kind of an angry person, and things weren't very good at home. So, but then that was the end of the school year, and I never saw her again. I ended up switching schools. I received sexual harassment from my vice principal in high school. I need to make another video about my high school experience. I think I received a little bit of racism. Mind you, I lived in a small town of Oviedo. It was a suburb. Now it's a lot bigger years later. I mean, it's been like, what, I'm 31 now, so it's been like 12 years since I've been in high school, 13 years ago. But back then, it was a smaller town, and I remember I wanted to join theater, and the theater teacher told me, we don't have roles for your kind. What does that mean? So I think that there was mild racism. I remember a boy that I had a crush on. He was a white kid. I kind of hinted at liking him, and he was like, oh, my father wouldn't really approve, kind of thing, of us, you know. So I guess that was his way of turning me down. I don't know, but it made me feel like, okay, I'm dark, so I guess I need to understand that I'll never be with your kind, you know, or something. I don't know. There was a lot of segregation in my school. Nowadays, you see High School Musical, and you see that Vanessa Hudgens' character was the little Mexican girl, and she got with Zac Efron's character, and it was all fine and hunky-dory. So I think today things are a lot different. My husband's white, my little girl is mixed. Bullying, like shoving, I didn't, thank God, nobody tried to pick fights with me in high school. It was more cattiness and mean girlness, and I need to make a separate video about my high school experience. Occasionally, some people might try to cyberbully me on my Disney princess videos, and I just ignore it. Thankfully, YouTube lets you hit ignore or block people who try to just say dumb things or mean things. They don't really know me personally, so I think it's interesting when they try to say, oh, you think you're a Disney princess, or they say other stupid things, and it's like, you know, it was something I did when I was young, and if anybody wants to be a Disney princess, I encourage you to, if you can, you know. So I don't think I'm better or anything, so that's a whole other subject. But I always just ignored, if people are trying to put you down, I think it's best to just ignore them. Talk to a friend or a relative or a guidance counselor or an adult that you trust or somebody that you look up to. I think it's very important to talk about it to people, not to go through it alone if you can. And my mom always just told me that, I remember her telling me that people are mean because they don't know how to be nice, because maybe they haven't received enough love in their life. People cannot give love if they have not received love. Again, I'm sorry that my question, I feel like it's just not good enough of an answer, and I apologize, because your question was just so great and deep and important, and I'm just not adequate enough. That's why I say go to the Stop Bullying website. Bullies don't tend to pick on confident and outgoing people. They usually try to target people who are insecure. And so for me, like, maybe I didn't get shoved around a lot, but my confidence would have been a lot higher in high school had I been a part of something. You know, it's kind of sad that an adult sent me away from the theater program. Remember, I just said that she told me there was no room for my kind, when theater was what I was into. I wasn't into sports, I was into theater, so I felt blocked out of joining sports groups because I was not very athletic, so I felt, but I wish now that I would have joined a sports team just to kind of help me have something to pride myself at. Like, I wish I would have joined the swim team, but I was heavier, or heavier than my peers. I was not as skinny as them, so I didn't want to be seen in a swimsuit. I was insecure about that, so I stopped myself from joining a sports team. But looking back, I wish I would have gotten over that fear and still said, you know what, I don't care if people make fun of me because I'm not skinny like them, and joined anyway. That screams confidence, and that screams, it's about what it doesn't matter what you think, it's about what I think of myself. And I would advise you that if you were in my shoes and you weren't as skinny as your peers, to still join the swim team, or to join baseball, or to join soccer. Oh, soccer, I just think soccer's so amazing. Women's soccer is awesome. I was talking to my husband, and he said that he was bullied when he was in middle school because he was the little guy. He was an easy target. He was new. He was nice. But he said that he didn't let those bullies get him down, and they actually ended up becoming his friends. They eventually saw that he wasn't taking the abuse, and they saw that he was just going to continue doing his thing, and they ended up becoming friends with him. He joined the sports teams, and I guess, maybe they realized he was a nice guy, and they stopped picking on him. And I think I also experienced something similar to where I didn't let people's comments get me down, and they end up becoming your friends. So you just have to people are insecure, you need to get to know them, as far as, but again, I apologize if my answers aren't good enough. And again, to visit the website, Stop Bullying. And I want to give you a hug. If you've been bullied, I'm sending you a hug right now. And feel free to email me about your bullying experience, and I would love to empathize with you and hear you out. So, but again, visit the website. What did you want to be when you grew up, when you were a kid? So, when I was a kid, I wanted to be April O'Neil from the Ninja Turtles. And she was a news reporter, so that's what I wanted to be. And I actually majored in broadcast journalism at the University of Central Florida. I ended up switching my major because I realized that news reporting was not for me. Too much politics for my taste. But no, in middle school I wanted to be an animator for Disney, but then I saw that Disney started closing down their animation studios. I saw that Disney was closing down their animation studios. So I wanted to be an actress after seeing Jodie Sweetin on Full House. Exotic Cher asked, what kind of kid were you in high school? I wasn't the most popular person at all. I didn't play sports. I was the little dark girl who, and now things are different in high schools. I feel like there's a lot more acceptance of you. If you are Latin or have an ethnic background, I think there's a lot more acceptance. I identify with that character on My Big Greek Fat Wedding, Nia Vardalos. I don't know if you remember the beginning of that movie, but yeah, it just, so because my school, there was not a lot of, there weren't a lot of minorities, and my closest friend in high school was a girl who was similar to me. She didn't have a Spanish accent, but her parents were Latin descent, but most of our friends were all American girls. So, but at the same time, people still, I don't know, we were still different, if that makes sense. Let's see. But so I was insecure. I wasn't like my blonde friends. And in the Army, on the Army base, because my dad was in the U.S. Army, so on the Army base, it was easier because there was a lot of diversity. But in the small town of Oviedo, there was not a lot of diversity. So it made it. I was insecure about my look. I was insecure about my looks. Boys didn't like me. I remember the guy I had a crush on told me he liked girls with blonde hair and blue eyes, so there was no hope for me. But he and I were still friendly. I never got asked out to prom. I remember going out on a double date with one of my friends, and the guy saw me, and he was so mad that I wasn't attractive. I remember he just didn't talk to me the whole night. He was like, oh, she's ugly. Like, she's so ugly, and she's so, ugh. I wasn't what guys liked. And so, I'm a lot more confident in myself now. Once you get to college, the ball game changes. All of a sudden, you're attractive. You're meeting people from all over the nation at a university because universities are much more diverse. There's a lot more, they think differently at a university than they do in high school from your small town where you're from. When you go to a university, people think different. And so I loved my college experience infinitely more than I loved my high school experience. So, and I lost weight. I think I mentioned in the Confessions of a Retired Disney Princess that I lost weight between high school and college, which is when I got the Princess Jasmine role. And high school is a very difficult time because you're growing, you're learning a lot about relationships and people and where you fit into this world. and you're gonna love college so much better, or at least I hope you do. I loved college. It's a whole new world in college. Alex Bienvi asks, how did you and your husband meet? Before I went to the University of Central Florida, I actually went to Seminole Community College, and it was my first year out of high school, and I was in college, and his sister was sitting next to me in one of my classes, and she and I became friends, and I was hanging out at her house every single day, and she had this brother, and you know, we would all hang out together sometimes, and I was trying not to fall for him because it was my friend's brother, but I was over there so much, and I knew before I started dating him that I couldn't date him unless I knew that he was somebody that I could actually see myself with in a long-term relationship, if he was somebody who I could actually see myself marrying. And I loved my friend's family, and I thought, he's somebody that I would want to settle down with. He's somebody who would make a great father and a great husband. That's the kind of man I want to marry. And sure enough, we started dating, and since we went into our relationship with that mentality already of this is somebody who I could marry, we were very serious from the start. Victoria Medder, she asks, are you going to have another kid soon? And hopefully yes. I'm really hoping that we don't have any fertility issues, but Christmas time we're going to start trying for baby number 2 because we'd like our kids to be very similar in age. So hopefully baby number 2 is coming, and I would love to document that pregnancy much better than I did before, especially now that I'm more consistent with my YouTubing. I'm looking forward to being a mom of 2. Jack Nepson asks, when was the last time you were at the park with your family? The last time I went to Disney was Christmas 2013. So it's almost going to be a year since I was at Disney because I was pregnant with Ariana, and I miss it. I remember walking through and thinking, this is the last time I'm coming to Disney without kids. I just remember looking at my husband, and we were excited because, Lord willing, we are going back to Disney in October, or at the end of this month. So I want to document Ariana's first trip to Magic Kingdom, and I'm excited for her to meet all of the Disney characters. And yeah, so be on the lookout for a video showing our family at Disney. I might not show, like my family might not want to be in the YouTube video, but at least you'll see me and Ariana at Disney. Disney Princess Days asks me what my favorite movie is, and I love Disney Princess Days. She's on Instagram, and you are just awesome. It was really hard to choose between 2 movies, which are Lord of the Rings and Sabrina, the 1995 one starring Harrison Ford and Julia Ormond. Very tough time deciding, and ultimately I had to choose Sabrina, the 1995 movie. Have you seen that movie? Oh my gosh, it's Sabrina. She's this nerdy girl who's in love and obsessed with this guy, and then it's her transformation that I love. It's the way the story is told and captured, the scenes around the US and Europe. I love movies that are international, and you know, so, and it's the ugly duckling story, and who doesn't love a good ugly duckling story? And then she ends up falling in love with somebody for who they are inside and not just the outside. I'd like to know what your guys' favorite movie is, so please comment below. Sabrina, I always get swept away when I watch that movie, and if there's a movie where you always get swept away watching, I would love to know what movie that is. Miss Angie Nagy, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, Angie Nagy, she asked, what are your favorite makeup brands? Well, I'll tell you my favorite drugstore makeup brands first off. Maybelline is my absolute, hands down, favorite drugstore makeup brand. Then I like e.l.f., E-L-F, Eyes, Lips, Face, because they're super cheap, and I like their brushes. I like a lot of their brushes because they fit into my budget. When I need something quick and cheap, I go to e.l.f. who are my real favorite cosmetics. Yeah, I love MAC. MAC is what I used all through my time at Disney. That's what I wore. And I love Sephora. Anything in Sephora, Makeup Forever, I guess, is the top one at Sephora that I love. Bobbi Brown, department store Bobbi Brown. I used Bobbi Brown gel eyeliner when I used to do Princess Jasmine. It never budged. It stayed all day long. I sweat through it. It never budged. That stuff is. If I would buy all of Bobbi Brown if I could. I'm a makeup junkie, so I love everything. But right now I'm on a budget, so I'm sticking with Maybelline. And I like drugstore products. They work pretty well, but I don't know. When I used to do Jasmine, I knew to stick with the prestige brands because I needed something that it was for sure going to stay on all day, and I didn't trust drugstore back then. For my purposes now, Maybelline is perfectly fine. I'm not sweating outside all day long for hours. And yeah, so Miss Angie Nagy also asked, if you were a Pokemon trainer, what would be your starter Pokemon? Fennekin would be my starter Pokemon. Very fox-like, super adorable, cute, fire, love it. She also asks, how does a typical day in your life look? I usually wake up between 8 and 9 a.m. with Ariana. Usually, like at some point between 1 to 3 a.m., I will get up in the middle of the night and leave my husband in our bedroom by himself and go to the guest bedroom and get Ariana and nurse her in the middle of the night, and then we end up falling asleep together in the guest bedroom. But then we wake up between 8 and 9 a.m. and my husband has already left for work at that point. So I feel bad. I need to break that habit. If anybody has any suggestions below. I mean, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. But whatever, we're happy right now. Or at least I'm happy. My husband's like, why can't you just come back to bed in the middle of the night? But anyway, so we wake up between 8 and 9 a.m. I get coffee in the morning. I check my social media on my phone to see if anybody's emailed or messaged me or left a comment. I try to get back to them. Meanwhile, Ariana's on the floor playing with her toys while I do that. I play with Ariana because she'll only put up with me doing my little thing for so long. But then around 11, she goes down for a short nap between 30 to 45 minutes. Well, I guess that's an average nap. If I need to make a phone call at that point, I will do that. Like, that's the time if I need to do something where I can't do it with her, lift something heavy or I'm doing something with sharp knives or something, that's when I do it. Once she wakes up, I nurse her again, and I'm kind of nursing throughout the day. I nurse her whenever she wants to nurse. I don't have a schedule with breastfeeding. It's just kind of on demand. We do lunch with her, like I feed her solids. That's when we get ready to go out somewhere. If I need to go to Target or if I need to go to hang out with a friend, another mom, that's when we do it, is in the afternoon. When we get home, I will clean with her in the baby carrier, and I don't do that much cleaning. I'll either play with her because it's difficult, I'll admit. It's to reach the sink with her in a baby carrier is a little difficult, but I do what I have to do. Like when it comes to me eating throughout the day, I usually have quick foods available to me, like bagels with peanut butter. I'll put peanut butter on a bagel and a big tall glass of milk. I've got fruits handy for me to just grab and eat. I will, like a couple times a week, I'll make chicken, and I'll just make enough to last me throughout the week, so that way it's quick for me to grab. So I always need to have like fast, quick foods. I use the George Foreman grill a lot. Frozen vegetables. I'm all about frozen vegetables. We eat spaghetti, we eat hot dogs, we eat tacos, foods that are fast and easy. I'm all about that right now. My husband usually comes home around 6 o'clock when there's not a deadline going on. And so then when he gets home, we will eat dinner together, and then around 7:30 we'll go on a walk around the neighborhood, and just that's our time to reconnect and catch up together as a family. It's really relaxing for me because Ariana's in the stroller, and my husband and I can kind of have our adult time together. And then after we get back from our walk, which usually lasts at least a half an hour, then we give Ariana a bath, and she usually goes to bed by 9 p.m. every night. Thankfully, I'm very thankful for that. And then my husband and I will, usually he likes to play video games, and then I'll check my social media. So we're very, I would love to tell you that we played board games and, had these deep romantic meals every night, but we don't. We do have date night occasionally because my mom will babysit Ariana, so I really appreciate those times. And yeah. I usually don't go to bed until midnight because I'm terrible like that. Because that's my time to edit videos, because during the day it's very difficult. Like right now she's napping. Oh, okay, so that's another thing. I will film YouTube videos while she's napping in the afternoon as well. I'm trying to get to bed earlier though, because I don't think I should be staying up till midnight. Joanna Baker asked, if you could have dinner with any 5 celebrities, where would you go and who would they be? I would love to go to Bongo's Cafe at Downtown Disney, a restaurant that is owned by Gloria Estefan, with Justin Timberlake. I love Justin Timberlake. He's hilarious. He's a great entertainer and dancer. He's a great actor. I love him as a performer in general. So I've never seen Justin Timberlake dance to salsa or Latin music, so I would love to see him in a Latin music setting and just see what he does. Taylor Swift is another celebrity I would love to hang out with. She just seems like such a sweet girl. She seems like somebody you could really be friends with, and her music is just beautiful and I love it. With her, I would love to go to Stockholm, Sweden, and eat at a trendy restaurant there at a cafe just overlooking the people, and we could people watch and enjoy fika, which is like a coffee time that Swedish people have. I really like Scandinavia, and she's a blonde chick. I don't know, we would blend in there, I guess. I don't know if she would blend in there. But yeah, I just think it would be fun to hang out with Taylor Swift abroad somewhere like Scandinavia or Norway. Oslo, Norway works well too. So yeah, I want to go to Scandinavia with Taylor Swift. Another celebrity I would love to hang out with is Jennifer Lawrence. Have you seen her in the Hunger Games? Talk about great acting. Oh my goodness. She's an inspiration to me. I am a wannabe actress. She is like amazing. And also she seems extremely sweet and down to earth and fun, and I would love to hang out with her. With Jennifer Lawrence, I would love to go hiking in the mountains with, because I feel like she could keep me safe from bears, and I would love to just go eat with her in a restaurant that's in the mountains somewhere overlooking the trees and everything, and I would just hang out with her. We would talk about everything and anything, world issues, humanity, acting, whatever spoke to us. Angelina Jolie, phenomenal actress. She's a great director as well. She's directing a movie. It looks like it's going to be a great, phenomenal movie. I really want to see it. I know I'm going to cry, and it's going to tear me up emotionally inside, because that's what Angelina Jolie will do. She's a great actress. She tells great stories, I'm sure. I feel like I could learn a lot from her as far as movie making and acting. With Angelina Jolie, I would love to go to dinner with her in Thailand at some exotic Thai restaurant, because I remember her in Tomb Raider, and she just seems very exotic and fun and exciting, and I would love to go to dinner with her in Thailand. Another actress who I would love to hang out with is Renee Zellweger. I just think she's a phenomenal actress. Did you see her in Cinderella Man? My gosh. Did you see her in Miss Potter? She played Beatrix Potter with Ewan McGregor, and I love Peter Rabbit books. I grew up reading them, and I can't wait to read Peter Rabbit to my daughter. And Renee Zellweger portrayed Beatrix Potter, and I love that movie. Miss Potter, go see it. with Renee Zellweger. I would love to go to England and have high tea with her, and we would just talk about similar things that I would talk about with Jennifer Lawrence, like humanity and even Angelina Jolie. I guess I would talk to the actresses about humanities and acting and world culture and all this type stuff. I just think that that's exciting. I feel like as an actress, you have to be very in touch with humanity, and I would love to hear their perspectives and their point of views on the world and world issues. And so I would love to hear your guys' response to some of the questions that were asked to me, like what are your favorite movies? What are celebrities that you would want to go to dinner with, and where would you want to go to dinner with them? I want to know what you guys have to say also. And if you have any more questions for a future question and answer video, I would love to hear those questions too, so that in the future I can make another Q&A video. And I would just love to hear your comments in general. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video if you liked it. Please share this video if you liked it. I'm very thankful to you if you are subscribed to me already. And I'm looking forward to Rachel Henkel coming to Orlando. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.